Today we'll be reacting to Omizi Mizkif's response to Emu's abuse allegations. Make it even worse. This says a response, but I want to go over this. I just want to go over it with everything with Emu. So those that don't know, last time on stream, or was it last time I streamed? No. At TwitchCon, where these next 3 videos we're about to watch are all some streamer drama. It shouldn't be drama, but it unfortunately is. But a whole bunch of stuff came out. I tried looking for videos covering all this topic. I couldn't find any for some odd reason. Every commentary YouTuber just turned blind eye to this. I guess maybe it was so big they probably figured no point, but still. So Emiru is having this poor girl, bro. It's just for her constant problems with men. And the thing about it too, it's out for control. Like, to me, at a certain point, if this keeps happening, if something is happening over and over again, I'll normally say, okay, we gotta look somewhere else. Not trying to victim blame, but you gotta look somewhere else. The problem is, everything is so different with her. And the one thing that's consistent is something she can't even control. Those that don't know, she consistently keeps getting stalkers. Like, she talked about in this video, she had multiple stalkers. When she was out with Sin and Valkyrie, there was a stalker that got him. That was the first big boom that went viral there. And then you had TwitchCon, where this guy just came up and SA'd her. Just went. She was thinking this was going to be all a little hug, and then he starts going in for a kiss. And then, on top of that, Twitch has had a worst PR moment that competes with Roblox. It's not worse than Roblox, but it's almost as bad as Roblox. The worst PR move ever. And then this bombshell came out. Now, I already seen the original video of what she's going to talk about, but we'll get to that as the video goes along. I don't want to yap too hard, too crazy. So, let's get into this video, bro. Emiru just had so much fuck up. She needs security with her 24/7, which is unfortunate. It shouldn't be that way, but...
Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing.
I am totally okay with exposing a lot of things and saying things. At this point, I think it's pretty obvious I will not be friends with any of these people after this. Ludwig was right. I am going to completely separate myself from these people, this community, which is fine, and I've already been doing it, but I have hundreds of messages and DMs from people, things that people probably would never want to get released that are very interesting for everyone, and I will be releasing it as time goes on, because why not? Go crazy. Who cares?
Boy, this is actually sick and disgusting. Remember that young streamer Emiru who we covered?
Yeah, so this is that TwitchCon one. Oh, Omizi did post about it. That's another thing. I lost Omizi throughout the whole pages, and yeah, YouTube stopped recommending his videos to me, so I had to look him up.
7 days ago on this channel that got assaulted at TwitchCon, the young streamer who had her assailant come around the barricade and come up, hug her, kiss her on the neck, potentially have something in his hand to, I don't know, do something with it. I can't even honestly think of what he was gonna do with the device that he had in his hand. Yeah, that same streamer. Well, in her address to Dan Clancy and the Twitch community about what happened, she said something very, very interesting. Something that had my ears kind of perk up.
But honestly, this has been a really hard year for me. like 2 years. I've been carrying a lot of really heavy burdens. There's a lot of things that I haven't wanted to talk about that I think I will probably be talking about when I get home from TwitchCon.
And lo and behold, the thing that she was talking about
and she got home and she dropped it. And good for her, honestly, because normally when I like to go to these cases, normally it's innocent till proven guilty, but for these cases, out of respect for whoever the victim is, I don't like... People want to be focused on the right side of history so much, they'll jump on one side and defend. But doing so, you gotta give... But in all actuality, you gotta give both sides a fair shot. So I always stand in the middle, wait for everything to come out. And I think everything has came out. And looking at the evidence and all, and Mizkif's defense, I 100%, not 100%, I'm 90% believe Emiru, bro. Mizkif's response is horrible. There's witnesses to her suffering, and what was the third part? And Mizkif's response was horrible. No surprise there.
Levying allegations of SA, domestic abuse, verbal abuse, and a bunch of other things on streamer Mizkif, her ex-boyfriend. Now, I'm gonna give a trigger warning. Some of the stuff that's about to be discussed in this video is actually kind of disgusting, and not even kind of disgusting, it's quite disgusting. But you get to hear both her telling of the events, and because we waited long enough, we also get his telling and admittance to a lot of the things that she claims that he did in his own words. Emiru starts off this conversation by talking about how controlling and emotionally abusive Mizkif is. She talks about two different instances. One instance in which she was made to cry for hours on end based off of Mizkif's drunken rage about him being, you know, so insecure about his viewership. Emiru had more viewers than he did, and he didn't like the way that
oh my goodness, the amount of insecurity this man has. Listen, as a content creator who's trying to grow, who has little people watching, I get you want to have views. You're trying to get as much views, but don't shit on the other person. You could be upset you're not getting this to have views. Damn, I put so much effort in this and it's going nowhere. But don't take it out on others. If one of my boys did this shit and he does great, fantastic for him. Great for him. If anything, I'm still going to benefit because he's my bro. Free collabs. Okay? So it's like, why are you upset when she's doing well? If you have a friend who blows up as a streamer and you're trying to get into this shit too, it's so easy. I want to say easy, but it's like, you won't have to go through this struggle where 0 people are watching your streams. You have that one spike where your views are growing, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're back to 0 viewers, even though you're uploading every day consistently. I'm okay kind of venting right now, but that you won't have to go through that. Rakai, I'm pretty sure even Rakai at one point has 0 viewers, and then he met Castanet, and then boom, look where he's at now. No, who's another streamer? Ray wasn't even streaming when he met Kai, but he decided to do streaming. And like I said, since he has Kai, he didn't have to go through that struggle. And I don't have animosity towards them. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, he's not a real streamer because he doesn't know the struggle. Great for him. Because a lot of people quit because it's that continuous 0 or 1. It's that consistently 0 and 1. That's where a lot of people quit. They don't even have to face that reality. So, I understand being frustrated. But come on, game. Why are you pushing this on her, bro? Because now she was over here saying, "Whoa, I want to do well because this is my life. This is how I make my money. But I can't do too well, or else my boyfriend's going to slap the fuck out of me, or yell at me, or do what God knows what." It's like a lose-lose situation for her. And what has surprised me is she hated streaming when they were dating. If it would have came out that she didn't like streaming, I would completely understand. Sorry about that.
Streaming on one of her Q&A drunken streams. So he called / texted her and started berating her about how she was conducting herself on stream, causing her to take a brief 45-minute intermission to go off and handle this situation, only to come back and cry on camera.
Okay, wait, I need to walk around for a second. I'm a little bit, I think I took too many shots too quickly.
Yeah, not. Oh yeah, here's more proof. This also came out. Another reason why I said Mizkif is definitely guilty for what he did is because to me, it's the witnesses and these VODs. These VODs prove it, bro. It's a slam dunk case. Unbeatable.
I think I took too many shots too quickly. I'm doing great.
I said I'm doing that. She's crying.
Okay. I'm feeling great right now, so why don't we continue,
trying to keep up good energy, so she's like, I'm feeling great. You know, you don't know what to say, but you have to say something to keep your audience engaged, so you're like, I'm great. It's one of those. I do it all the time.
Q&A for a little bit.
Now, Mizkif would claim that she was going to farm parasocial viewerships. He was claiming that she was doing sexual things to, garner a certain type of audience.
Let's go back. Sexual things, he says, right?
And handle this situation only to come back and cry on camera.
Okay, wait, I need to walk around for a second.
What about this is
I'm
sexual?
a little bit,
Someone tell me, what about this is sexual?
Too quickly.
Just watch her quit.
I'm doing great. Okay, I'm feeling great right now. So why don't we continue the Q&A for a little bit?
Now, Mizkif would claim that she was going to farm parasocial viewerships. He was claiming that she was doing sexual things.
It was just being casual.
To, garner a certain type of audience. He was saying that she was lifting her legs and doing something sexual with a bottle. But let me show you the clips. These are the clips that Mizkif is talking about that is garnering this audience. He's saying that this is a way for her to sexualize herself in order to... It's some weird and controlling ass shit. I'm turned on. I don't know. In this one,
You see any boners? Nope. Although, granted, there's probably some weirdo whose mind is just far gone now. Somehow I'll find that hot.
You gotta be a super gooner to get turned on by this. Like, I don't... Now, Mizkif goes on to address these allegations that he is some sort of controlling freak.
That first one is probably... She was probably stretching. You know, you're sitting here in a long amount of time. You're going to want to stretch. The other one, she was trying to open the bottle. And it was probably pretty hard to open. So you got used to hands. Like, come on.
That he is this type of person, but I'm going to play it and let you hear how he describes it. That way you can make your own judgments.
I know I wasn't perfect with my language or tone throughout this entire relationship. I know I wasn't. And I was aggressive at times. In regards to being controlling, I told her many things. I told her to dress older, to stop wearing pajamas, to stop
wearing pajamas. What's so wrong about wearing pajamas? What's so wrong about wearing pajamas?
About stalkers and schizos as a whole. Stop talking about past relationships. And yes, I didn't want her to travel without me. I also said that I didn't want her to hang out with specific people. This is because I didn't want her to get hurt. I didn't want Emmy to get assaulted. I didn't want some man to do something to her when I'm not there.
By the way, it's called security. If you truly did care for her safety, you wouldn't be being clingy if she wanted to be alone. You hire security. Oh my God.
Wanted to keep her safe.
Interesting.
And I know with how my mental was and who I was back then that I didn't do everything right. I know I could have done better, and I'm sorry. I know I was controlling, and I should have just ended the fucking relationship, but I was so confused as a person. And I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry things got to this fucking point, man.
A way to sell it. I ain't gonna lie, Mizkif, way to sell it. He didn't want anybody else to end up
I can say one thing. The words are like... How did I say this? He was trying to get a tone of, here's what actually happened, but I hope she gets better. On paper, it sounds innocent. Just off hearing that, you're going to be like, oh, he might be good. And then you learn he got off of ChatGPT. Which, I'm not going to hammer him too much on having a script. But... because Emiru had a script too, but
harming her because he wanted to be the only one to do it. This isn't the only situation of him being emotionally abusive to her.
Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom, the holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour, and like...
This is also insane, bro. I didn't know there's some people that actually do that. There's obviously memes, where this person's sitting there suicidal while driving, and he'll go like, I really loved her, bro. And then he starts pressing on pill. I didn't know there's some actual sickos that actually do that, bro. Obviously, I didn't think there was none, but I didn't realize how common of a thing this is, bro.
Time he even said, like, well, now we're both gonna die, like threatening to kill both of us.
I'm gonna say this for anybody who's dealing with any sort of relationships or situationships that they feel potentially have the signs of being toxic. Anybody that's actively punching a hole in a wall, something that doesn't damage the wall greater than the hole that you put in it, but damages you, like they're physically willing to sacrifice themselves, that person is abusive and they are willing to punch you even. The same thing with threats of violence or harming yourself. It's all kikis and ha-has until it's not. That whole conversation about, oh, I'm gonna drive 150 miles per hour and we'll both end up dead in this car. That is not something to play with. That's not something to take lightly. If you're hearing those types of talking points in your relationship, that's a clear indicator and sign that somebody is abusive and that you should get out. This is a bit of violence that Mizkif himself even owns up to in his response to this Emiru blasting of him.
I was not perfect, and I reflect on those situations with poor taste to myself. I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me.
Oh, God forbid, she threw a pillow and a plushie. Let me go punch a hole in the wall in response. It's like, do I support what Mizkif is saying? Do I support the plushie thing? No. But punching a hole is so much worse. Because at least that person's still throwing something harmless. Now, what that tells me is, like, you're not making a good point. You're just frustrated and you're taking your anger out. But you punching a hole in the wall, bro, he's kind of right. That it doesn't mean they're abusive, but it's definitely a sign, bro.
and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression. I one time did say I was going to kill myself during an argument, but Emmy did this as well numerous times. She would constantly say she's going to kill herself.
Sweet, I don't know. Even if she is sane, guess why she's saying it? Because you're making her life a living hell, bro.
In arguments, and I have a picture where while I had a gun pointed at one of her stalkers who came to my house while she was in Kansas, she told me she was going to kill herself out of aggression of the situation while it was happening.
Based off of everything that I watched throughout these videos, Mizkif has a common theme of being insecure about his status and his stature in the content creator sphere. You would think somebody who is as big as him would feel like he is more of a success. But listening to Emiru...
Bro, it's like I said, when I get to a point where I can live off this, I'm still going to keep grinding. But it's like... But it's going to be side relief. You feel me? Because it's like... I don't have to stress about having 0 viewers. I actually have an audience. That's where their fan base comes in. You're averaging 100 views per stream and you got an audience and you can live off it. You have an audience. You're not a superstar and you're still got to get there. But like, I'll always say this. If I become a superstar and fall off, as long as I have my main audience, I could care less. If I fall off, oh yeah, whatever. My era is over. But I still got my hardcore audience.
Talk about a time where Mizkif decided to drive 150 miles per hour again on the road. It seems as though he is always constantly questioning who he is and his place in the hierarchy of creators.
This wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, no.
Bro, that ain't the most high school girl movie level shit I have heard. That is the most high school bullshit ever. That's high school level jealousy. You still have a mindset as a high schooler. By the way, how old is Mizkif, bro? How old is Mizkif, bro? I want to know. Bro. This guy is 30 years old and has a high schooler mindset. This man is 30. And yes, this is a couple years ago. He's still pushing 30. And you have a high school mindset, bro. What are we doing? Oh, like, what are we doing?
Oh, like, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking.
Hold on, y'all. Alright. Let's get back. Right, we good? Alright. Sorry about that, y'all.
Talking about killing himself while doing it.
And I'm always a guy of pattern recognition. So when I went to do my digging for this video, it seems as though this is something that he struggled with before. Who he is and people around him surpassing it. Hell, even his ex, Maya, who the internet through this research is claiming that he also did abuse her, he showed some signs of insecurity towards her and her growing viewership when they were together.
I was terrified. I couldn't understand what was happening. My viewers were dropping, Maya's were only going up. And there was a part of me that thought that I was going to be smaller than her, and I don't know if it was my ego or what, but I couldn't take it. I felt like shit.
It is your ego. It is your ego. Oh, I don't know if it's my ego or not, but I feel like shit. It is.
Phone with Austin, and then XQC, I somehow got on a call with him, and he talked to me for hours, making me feel better about it. And he did. And I genuinely, after talking to him, felt a lot better. And I don't think he even realizes what he did for me in that call, but he really did help me a lot. I was nonstop. It's all I could think about is that she was beating me as a streamer and I was going to die. But then he reminded me that women have a cap and men just grow as streamers, and that's pretty much just fucking it.
Hey, man, real classy dudes these guys are. Just stand-up guys. Stand-up guys.
Bro, XCC is also weird, bro.
This leads us to our biggest claim in this video. This is where Emiru claimed that Mizkif did two things. One, he gave her a black eye by throwing a phone at her, and two, he committed SA against her.
He would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruised very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time,
well, Mizkif's phone argument is when I knew this man wasn't lying. It's when I knew he was lying. And by the way, we're only a second
in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye. I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to try to distance myself from him. So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while.
Okay. Now this part. Oh, this part. Bro. She's sitting there crying, bawling her eyes out. You first give her a hug. Nothing wrong with that. And then you start kissing at her. That's when we go, whoa. That's when you already crossed the line there. Alright. Hold on, let me close this door. Carefully, don't whip up the blanket. Money. It's valuable money. So the kissing was already too far, but she didn't say nothing. Whatever. And then you aggressively put your hand down her pants. What about her sitting down and crying makes you horny and makes you want to fuck? You're not there for sympathy, you're there for fuck. You're there for pussy. Like, how terrible of a person you gotta be to see someone sitting there crying and you meet me, you're going, stroke it on. You're trying to get your meat wet. Brother, get help. Get help, bro.
And I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face. And I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And
yeah. The kissing is still crazy, bro. Like, bro.
Then Suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And, I screamed. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like... And, instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay...
And here's the worst part. This is what makes him the douche. Oh. I'm just going to let her say it.
He said, I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go. And he immediately left my house while I was still crying.
Now, I think...
First off, you did do something wrong. What about her going, sit here, bawling her eyes out, makes you want to go, oh yeah, let me get my hands in there. And two, you have no sorry. You blame her. You then proceed to blame her. You made me feel uncomfortable. I don't feel good anymore. I'm out. Like that. Lock this man up, bro.
Emiru, somebody who just came out of the TwitchCon situation where she got assaulted, knows how serious this is. Knows that she can't just levy these allegations, you know, baselessly and aimlessly. And anybody who is a victim of SA, like, I'm standing with you totally. Especially after Mizkif comes and gives his explanations as to how both situations happen. I have no choice but to believe her wholeheartedly because what he says is just hogwash.
Yeah, not only that, too, it's evidence too. There's multiple VODs of backing up Emiru's stuff instead of Mizkif. There was one point in Mizkif, he's like, alright, chat, I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna go slap the fuck out of my girlfriend. He didn't say I'm gonna slap my girlfriend, but it pretty much was that. Because right after he ended the stream, door slam. She goes to see what's going on. I think he slaps her. I'm not sure what he did. But she had to look in the mirror to make sure her makeup's good. You immediately send her like, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? This man weird, bro.
And baloney.
She brushed over that I threw water bottles or my phone near her, but that wasn't during fights. I want to make that very clear. It would be me throwing my phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got a...
This part is so dumb. This part is so dumb.
Bruise from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened. I will throw you and show you an example, chat.
This is the dumbest part.
I'm brushing my teeth. Right here. Look at me.
You just like tossed it. It's not even like a little light toss. You tossed it. Knowing your girlfriend was there, you went from there and tossed it. No duh that was going to hit her. It's an obvious why too. It's like, ugh.
I throw my phone on the bed. I would just lob it over because I was going to bed. So I would just throw the phone.
And you hit her in the eye? That's what you want us to believe? Now, I don't believe that black eye story for 1 second. You're telling me that you casually tossed your phone in water bottles,
yeah,
or whatever the case may be, and it's something that just so happened to hit her in her eye to give her a black eye? Now, let me ask you this. Why, after that situation, was Emiru going on live stream lying to people about how she got the black eye?
I actually had like a small black eye from running into something, and no one could tell.
Like I said, the VODs back Emiru's story up so much. It's the multiple witnesses and the VODs, bro.
I thought I wouldn't be able to cover it because it was really bad. What'd you run into? I was like turning a corner really fast and I hit like the bottom of my eye socket on the wall.
Y'all couldn't even come up with a better excuse as to how she got the damn black eye. Like, that's abuse victim 101. Running into a doorknob or door hinge or whatever to hit her in the eye socket. And apparently it was really, really bad.
Hang on, y'all. I gotta check something real quick.
that she wasn't showing her face or couldn't show her face and talked about covering it up. But she got that from a phone hitting her in the face. I can't believe that for 1 second. And if that's the excuse that you're gonna use for the black eye, let's hear the excuse that you used for the essay.
We broke up for about a month, then got back together because we thought we can make it work. We went to get food at BJ's, a common place where we would get food. And then we went back to her house. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage.
On her stream. Nowhere was that other part live. Unless he was saying that, well, she said in her letter she didn't say nothing kissing Rich. By the way, doesn't mean that at all.
I thought that's what she wanted. She yelped, and I
bawling my eyes out. And you think I want to get some? Get this fool out of here, bro.
Immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong, or did wrong in general.
No mention of the crime.
I got scared.
And instead of apologizing, oh, I'm so sorry, I thought you wanted this, I read the room wrong, you drove that lousy excuse.
Left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I said sorry back then.
No mention of the crying, and again, if you were in a situation in which you thought this was the next step, advancing to the next stage, y'all were cuddling and stuff like that, especially in a time of distress, you would have no problem with having a conversation with her right after. Kind of acknowledging that, hey, I read the room wrong. But you yelping and leaving the way that you did seems as though you did something that you knew you were guilty for. If Mizkif didn't give enough bad excuses after bad excuses on this live stream, he then doubles down on what Emiru kind of alluded to at the end of her stream, and the fact that, hey, Mizkif is going to try to paint me to be some sort of a villain in this conversation. And the way that he does
rabbits. She literally said it was going to be the rabbits. Now, if she was a horrible owner to the rabbits, it still doesn't make no sense. You're getting allegations of essay and abuse her. What is your defense? She treated her rabbits wrong. By the way, if that's true, shame on Emiru for being a bad owner. But I kind of really believe that.
That is by playing the animal card, same card that they tried to use on Hassan last week.
Emiru has a lot of rabbits. It was her calling when she first moved in. These were a big part of her life. But as those rabbits moved out of her room and into the living room, they started to see disgusting neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. I, along with many others who would come over, would give them what they needed, and I would tell her all the time to take care of them, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that
ignore the chat, they're trolling him.
Many of them just died over 1 year of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt terrible. And my brother once came over and said, and I quote, "If you ever marry this woman, I'll never forgive you."
What? Oh.
Here is a video up close of Emiru's rabbits.
I think it's odd.
So, this is the one I'm talking about. Are those actually what they are? Because this is just poop. That's what it is. It's these little dark pebbles.
These are small little mites that are inside the rabbit cage, and she didn't care. She completely neglected these animals, and I'm not going to sit around and let people say that she didn't. People who came to my house knew that they were neglected.
What's that?
This is an up-close view of the rabbit cage being completely disgusting and neglected. She left them to die, and I'm not going to sit here and have her pretend she didn't. It's fucking disgusting.
So let me get this straight. Your ultimate combatant to the essay allegations, the DV allegations,
she's a terrible owner.
The verbal abuse allegations is the fact that Emiru was neglectful to rabbits that were also in your house and in your...
Yeah, your house too. Give them the food. Give them the water.
care. I don't think that that's like the best excuse in the world. Actually, I don't think it's an excuse at all. It's a non-excuse. It's crazy because he's trying to play this internet game that a lot of content creators try to do, in which they utilize their audience and their feelings towards a situation in order to paint somebody or someone else in a bad light. I'm gonna be quite honest with you though, gang. This is falling on deaf ears. Nobody cares about these rabbits in this situation when there are claims of SA that you admittedly acknowledged, when there are claims of DV which you gave an excuse about, and when there are claims of threats, violence, and other things. You are an insecure man, and that is a invalid excuse, full stop. Now, what Mizkif did to close out his stream is he gave a pretty eerie and ominous threat to other content creators and streamers out there that he knows personally.
Oh, I'm so scared.
I am going to stand up for myself. I am going to defend myself in these situations. I am not going away. I have no plans to go away. And I believe a lot of the situations today were absolutely exaggerated. I have dozens of photos and videos, calls and messages as well, if she has them. I have things I will be leaking over the next few days of other people, of other things. I have a lot of messages that I have that I'm going to expose as time goes on, because I do believe that this is a time to go fucking buck wild.
So you've been sitting on these other videos and other evidence of people doing SA or DV or just other disgusting stuff from your content creator and streamer friends. Got it. We hear you loud and clear. And I think that that is a bow on this specific conversation, but it opens up the present of a bigger conversation. Twitch, the community, the streamers, the content creators have problems, like real problems. Not like, oh, we can't figure out which platform to stream on, but no, these are people who are violent. And it's disgusting because in his attempt to defend himself, Mizkif is ultimately admitting that, yeah, I know that streamers commit these atrocities. I just hide them, just like other streamers do. But I tell you what, Mizkif, you go ahead and you release that information. Release that information. I want you to. Because we can
content for me.
Pack them and you up. We can pack everybody up. Because there's no way that we should be platforming anybody.
Pack all the weirdos up. This is mainly going to be at the Poggers, because the Poggers community, some of y'all are, let's just say, why are the Poggers getting so much beef, but the W and L community is chilling?
Who has these levels of skeletons in their closet. You honestly just don't deserve a platform. For Emiru, I'm praying for you, to be quite honest with you. Like you said, this is a hell of a year, and your assaults are getting caught on camera.
Literally. Stalker after stalker after stalker after stalker, assault after assault. It's just like, God, I hate this. I hate when people say all men are terrible, because it's not the truth. But if anyone has a reason to say that, it's Emiru, bro, because it's time and time and time again. And most of it is stuff she cannot change. The only, and I'm not trying to victim blame. Emiru's 100% innocent. You didn't know those people were going to stalk you or go up and kiss you. You didn't know Mizkif was going to be this toxic. The only one she could really control was Mizkif. Okay, this one didn't work out. Those are the red flags. Let me stay away from those red flags to avoid that situation again. That's only the one time. There's no way in stopping the stalkers that could just randomly come up to you and do God knows what.
And getting admitted to by the people that are doing the assaults. What a hell of a time that we live in. I'm hoping and praying that Twitch does the right thing. By the time this video goes out, Mizkif should be banned if they want to stage.
Last I checked, he was not banned to this day. Way to go, Twitch.
True to what they say.
Unless he did, I didn't see it.
They'll probably do what I expect them to do in my thoughts that I've shared in a Patreon video on my Patreon. And soon to be memberships. Anyway, this is disgusting.
Matter of fact, let's look it up right now. Would you look at that? He's still here. And it looks like, is he live right now? Shut up. No one wants to hear your ass. Shut up. He is still here to this day. Way to go! Good job! God, I wish Kick didn't fumble a crazy opportunity. But unfortunately, all the worst people went on that app and it scared away everyone from coming on that kickoff. If they didn't have that reputation, they would be profiting so good right now. Because Twitch is no better. Jesus. I almost forgot I was recording. Oh, I almost played the next video. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed it. This video. It'll get better. Hopefully one day Twitch decides to lock in. But otherwise, I'll see y'all later. Peace.